Nintendo was back this week with their big September 2022 Nintendo Direct, and that final One More Thing, well, that was the news we'd all been waiting for. We finally got the title and the release date for the game formerly known as Breath of the Wild 2. While the gameplay was short, there was still enough details packed into that trailer to send Legend of Zelda fans wild, and today I'm going to climb through all the details and we can now pin that date in our calendars. It is May the 12th, 2023, and we're all looking forward to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Well, if you're new around here or found this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Zelda content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Well, before we get into it today, let me know in the comments what you think of that name. What do you think Tears of the Kingdom means? And also, what do you think of that release date? Well, without further delay, first of all, let's have a look at the trailer itself. Well, we open the trailer focusing on a mural, and we're looking at a large creature of some kind. This creature appears to have large ears, plus its etchings look similar to Zonai markings that we've seen in Breath of the Wild. The scene fades in and out with a familiar dust in the air shining, and then we cut to bokoblins and moblins standing over what looks to be an ancient people laying dead on the ground. You got humanoid characters too, one laying there, appearing to be dead, others with swords and shields in hand, and it looks like there's a violent assault taking place. Or another fade in and out, we focus once again on the big character with the large ears. This looks like a god of some kind, perhaps a Zonai god. Surrounding this character appears to be quote marks, or perhaps in reference to the title, these could be the Tears of the Kingdom. 7 is a big number in the Legend of Zelda series, and this character is surrounded by 7 of these tears or quotes in the etching. While we don't know the identity of this character yet, we can deduce this is going to be a central character in Tears of the Kingdom. Whether this is our new big bad, an overarching evil, or maybe even a force for good, we don't know just yet. But I don't think we've seen this figure before, but let me know in the comments if you've got any clues as to who this figure might be. Well, we cut again, and this time we see a female character. She appears to be unconscious and raised up into the air, and the depiction here on the mural reminded me a lot of Princess Zelda when Demise was trying to steal her energy in Skyward Sword. She was unconscious, raised into the air much like this. It's likely this is a reference to Princess Zelda, or perhaps Goddess Hylia herself. It's notable that the female character's hair is long here, and in the trailers so far we've seen for Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda's hair is much shorter. Therefore, this is likely to be a reference to past Zelda. Well, another fade in and out, and we see the same female character holding hands, or joined with another character, but we don't get to see the identity of this character. Is it Link? Is it Ganondorf? Is it the new creature with long ears, or perhaps a member of the Zonai tribe? Let me know in the comments who you think that is. Well, the trailer then moves on from close-up shots of the mural to Link opening two big doors, almost like he's at the exit of a dungeon. Now he's high up there in amongst the clouds, sun blazing in the background, and Link, he starts to sprint forward. And this is long-haired Link that we've seen before. He's also wearing the champion's tunic, or a variation of that tunic. And we can see his arm is still altered, like we've seen in the E3 2021 trailer, but this time he's got something on his hip, and it appears to be a container of some kind, and it looks like it's a multifaceted container. This could be a source of energy or something that replaces the Sheikah Slate, or it could be a container for the literal Tears of the Kingdom, or perhaps it's a magic container with a power source for Link's new arm and abilities. We don't know for sure just yet, but we're going to find out in the coming months as we build up to the launch of the game. Well, Link takes a diving leap off the platform in the sky and dives towards Hyrule below, and the diving sequence is so similar to Skyward Sword. Link dives headfirst into the clouds before opening his body like a skydiver. And we don't see how Link lands or manages to fly through the sky as we cut to a scene of Link jumping onto a concrete platform. Link then holds onto this platform, and it's going up into the sky rather than falling down. So we've seen this reversal mechanic used before in the E3 2021 trailer, where Link was sending a spike ball back from where it came from. Here, though, it's an entire platform, and it appears to be reversing upwards from where it came, perhaps on Link's command. And it looks like this is going to be a major new gameplay mechanic in Tears of the Kingdom, with Link having the ability to manipulate objects through time, specifically reversing some items. Whether we are limited to certain items or how Link initiates this movement is yet unknown, but the potential for this mechanic is huge when it comes to puzzles, traversal, and overall gameplay in the latest Legend of Zelda game. Out of all of the things that we've seen so far, this one gets me the most excited. We then see Link grab onto a rock and move upwards into the sky. As Link is holding on for dear life, we can see a structure in the background surrounded by dark clouds. It looks like a shrouded sky temple of some kind. I don't know if this is a dungeon or perhaps Link going into a dungeon, but it looks really big. It also looks really dangerous and very ominous there in the background. Earlier in the trailer we saw 7 items surround the creature with long ears. And those 7 items could be 7 things we have to collect from 7 dungeons throughout the game. One major criticism of Breath of the Wild was the lack of dungeons, and it could be that Tears of the Kingdom is going to rectify that point. We don't have the proof just yet that dungeons are coming back, but I'd almost like it if Nintendo didn't give us those details prior to the game releasing. I'd love to get into the next Zelda game and discover those details for ourselves. We then move on, and we can see Link climbing. This time, he's not in his traditional champion's tunic. This time, he's climbing up a route, and he's dressed in a similar manner to that delayed trailer back in March 2022. This time, he's got very long hair, longer than it's seen before. His hair is down, he's got strappings tied to his arms and his legs. Well, we cut once again, and Link is skydiving, although this time he lands in a flying vehicle of some kind. It looks like a wing of some sort and appears to be made of wood. It's different to the glider that we've used in Breath of the Wild, and the closest thing I can compare it to is the flying machine used by the Green Goblin in Spider-Man comics and also movies. Could this be a flying mount that we'll be using the game to fly through the sky? On the ground, I assume we're still going to have horses, but to fly around in the sky, that would be absolutely incredible, and we could be about to get a flying mount in the Legend of Zelda. Well, 2 glowing dragons then encircle Link, which take on their etching style and then merge together to form a circle. The text, The Legend of Zelda, then fades in, with the Master Sword on the left-hand side having a familiar top half, but the bottom half is looking rather strange, almost digital, with a hint of Twilight Princess in the design. The title then fades in, and we now know that the title is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and we're all going to be able to play it on the 12th of May, 2023. Well, that is it for the trailer, and that was absolutely fantastic. Really, really enjoyed that, but there are some major points and a few headlines I want to discuss from the trailer. First of all, we got the mural. So much of the trailer focused on that mural. Looks like there's going to be a lot of story packed in there. Now, we've got this new character with the big ears, surrounded by what could be the Tears of the Kingdom, or maybe they are something else. There's definitely 7 items there, and they are going to be key to the story. So this new character is surrounded by 7 items, which do look to be important. So from this one scene, we could deduce there's a godlike creature, or a character who's going to be central to the story. Plus you've got 7 items which hold equal importance to that character. So perhaps we have to beat the 7 dungeons to collect the 7 items to beat this creature, or maybe we need these 7 items to power up the Master Sword and make it whole again. Now, I think the most likely scenario is we collect these items, or these tears, and they're either used to wake up Princess Zelda, or used to defeat the creature. Well, next up, there's loads of action in the sky, and while we knew there would be much more action in the sky for this game, this trailer really opened my eyes as to how much action there's going to be in the game. The sky islands appear to be plentiful, plus much of the gameplay we've seen of Link has been him skydiving or traversing through the sky, or on this new sky mount, flying through the air like the Green Goblin out of Spider-Man. It looks really, really impressive stuff. I would imagine we're going to get a lot of action on the ground in Hyrule as we did in Breath of the Wild, but then the game is going to completely open up. There's going to be travelling back and forward on the Sky Islands, so you've got Link being able to reverse time and climbing up rocks to get to those islands. Also, in a previous trailer, we've seen Link travelling upwards via some kind of water mechanic. Could these be the Tears to the Kingdom? Could it be a way to travel up into the Sky Islands? And of course, we've seen Link skydiving off of the platforms, so we know there's going to be loads of action in the sky. Well, next up we've got Link. So while this trailer was short, we saw a couple of Link designs. So we've got one Link in a champion's tunic, and one Link wearing another set of clothes or armour. Whether this is a different Link or the same Link, we don't yet know. One appears to have longer hair than the other, although whenever we see the champion's tunic wearing Link, he's got hair up into a ponytail, so it's possible we've got the same Link throughout all of the trailers. But it is also possible there are 2 Links and we have to travel between them in some way. Let me know in the comments if you think this is the same Link, or if you think these are different Links, and how do we switch between them. Well, next up we got my first impressions of the title of the game, and that is the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And you know what? I really like it. I'm glad Nintendo didn't go for Breath of the Something, and that they've got their unique title for the game. Tears of the Kingdom uses a similar structure from a sentence point of view. For example, something of the something. Now, I did discuss the title a few videos ago, and I don't think anyone got close in their guesses to Tears of the Kingdom. There are a couple of ways that this could be taken. Are they literal tears, tears of the inhabitants of Hyrule? Or are they some kind of item that can be collected in a vial, perhaps used as a magic power source? Although we have seen in that E3 2021 trailer a quote-unquote water droplet falling and Link travelling using that water droplet, so maybe this is one of the Tears of the Kingdom. Also, in this trailer, we see several items surrounding this big new character with the big ears, so perhaps these are the Tears of the Kingdom. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the title and what the Tears of the Kingdom are. Finally, we've got the conundrum about why the trailer wasn't live streamed in the UK. It should have been live streamed at 3 PM, although Nintendo said rather than do that, they were going to drop it 1 hour later as an on-demand video on YouTube. So this is most likely because of the unfortunate timing of Her Majesty the Queen dying and the UK being in a state of national mourning at the moment. As we all build up to a funeral on Monday, the 19th of September 2022. Tears of the Kingdom is such a huge coincidence when it comes to the Queen dying. On one hand, you've got the next Legend of Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom. Everyone is really, really excited. The next Legend of Zelda game is being announced. It's been building up for years to this moment for the title. And then all of a sudden, our monarch dies. She's been on the throne for 70 years. So it really is a hugely sad event, and the timing is really, really unfortunate. So this kind of thing only really happens once per century. You can imagine the meetings at Nintendo when the unfortunate news of the Queen came through. It must have been absolute chaos. Well, that gives us a good idea about why the trailer wasn't live streamed in the UK. Where you've got a name like Tears of the Kingdom, and then you've got the whole UK in mourning at the moment because of the Queen. It's such an unfortunate coincidence. Well, yes, that event is very, very sad, but I don't want to dwell on it too much. The next Legend of Zelda game has been titled. We got a release date of the 12th of May, 2023, so it's really, really exciting stuff as we look to the future. Well, let me know in the comments what you thought of the trailer, and let me know where your hype levels are for Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Well, that is it for this title and release date trailer breakdown for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and as always, thank you so much for watching or listening. For more Legend of Zelda content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to Triforce Times, or you can check me out on Twitter at Triforce Times. Well, if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon.